What advice would I give my 10-year-old self? Right, speaking of my younger self, this is Zane, my son. He's 4 months old, and I guess he's in, in this video with us. So the advice I would give my younger self, actually, and a lot of people um, ask me this, and I wouldn't really give my younger self any advice because everything that happened the way it was supposed to happen, and it got me here with this little shark boy. And if it didn't happen exactly that way, then maybe this version of me would not be sitting here today. So um, this might be an unpopular take, I guess, on that question. Um, the only thing I would tell my 10-year-old self is that around that time, I go on a trip with my family in the US and I have a bag full of Twix bars and I lose it at the bus. So I'll tell my 10-year-old self to keep that bag of chocolate bars real close because we love Twix bars. Well, we used to back then. I still kind of like them, but I'm watching my sugar now. Um, anything else? Oh, yeah. And then around 12, 13 years, I'm going to lose my passport at the airport when I visit my dad in China. It's going to be returned to me by a stranger, but the stranger is going to be my dad's friend. So just be prepared because you're going to get an earful. Uh, other than that, no, because my experiences, who I was, shaped me into becoming who I am today. And I wouldn't really change much. A lot of people talk about, I'll give myself the lottery numbers, yada, yada, yada. But that one doesn't resonate with me at all. Because I would want to be exactly where I am today, looking forward to life the way I am today, loving my life as it is today, and knowing that better is on the way, is on the horizon. I think that's the only possible way to look at it. And I would love your guys' take on it. Um, one thing I didn't know when I was much younger is that I had ADHD, which I do now. And so a lot of the things that I just told myself to remember not to forget, I'll probably still forget because I have ADHD, so I'll forgot a lot of things throughout my life. So I guess one thing I could tell my younger self is that don't hold those experiences of losing things and don't take them too personally, too internally, and don't blame it too much on yourself because undiagnosed ADHD is part of it, and that's going to affect a lot of your self-esteem. And so just whatever mistakes you make are the mistakes you make. Don't take them personally. Don't let it affect your self-esteem too much. Um, uh, so I got diagnosed at ADHD much later, and so when I did find out, it was kind of a relief that all those times where I told myself I'm not going to forget this, and I did it, forget it anyway. It just that was that was my fault. And so now it's kind of a relief, like, okay, I had this condition, it was undiagnosed. Now that I'm aware of it, I can work on things to help me improve it or put systems in place to make the mistakes that come from ADHD or that type of ADHD less less obvious. I guess that would be one of the biggest things because that had a big impact on my life. And I grew up in Pakistan, so those things are non-existent in culture and society or even talked about. So I only learned about it much later in Canada, and after being in Canada after 10 years, I was like, oh, that sounds familiar, and that was because my wife said she had ADHD and she took help for it. And then I just got curious, asked questions, and a lot of things that sounded similar to what I had. And anyway, kind of getting off track here. So those are my three things, I guess, for my younger self. One, uh, remember the Twix bars. Um, be prepared to get an earful when you lose your password, and remember that you have ADHD, and you're gonna make some errors, but we can find some tools to manage it. And also, um, remember who you are. Stay true to yourself. And, all that normal stuff. But I think at that young age, those things might be more impressionable, especially coming from a much older me, with the baby in my hand. Anyway, let me know what would you guys tell your younger selves if you had a chance to meet them at whatever age you are now, and you meet them at 7, 6, 8, 9, or whatever significant experiences you had at that time that shaped who you are. If you would change anything, or if you're not changing anything at all, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Until next time, bye. Shark attack.